Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, I am about to play you a very short video clip, but before I play that clip, I would like you to bear two things in mind: the social distancing rules that apply in Nigeria at the moment, and the Nigerian law also regarding abuse and misuse of the Nigerian note. So I'll play you that clip now. Okay, so guys, what you saw in that clip was the son of the Attorney General of Nigeria and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Mallami, getting married. So let's leave aside the ostentatious wedding, which of course you have to query where the money came from, because this is a guy that is on a salaried income. But really what we're looking at is not just that, but equally the abuse of the social distancing rule. And if you look at the person that is at the heart of this abuse, then it makes it even more pertinent and profound, because the person, of course, that is at the heart of this abuse of a rule that is germane to the Nigerian being at the moment is no less a person than the chief law enforcer of the country, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. So the person flouting the social distancing rule is effectively the person at the forefront of enforcing the social distancing rule, and the person also flouting the abuse of the naira is the person, of course, at the forefront of that. With that, guys, I bring you this. Northern Youth Group asks President Buhari to sack Mallami for living extravagant lifestyle at the detriment of Nigerians. So this is now the third element of this now catalog, a cacophony of abuse of position now that is just been presented by this Abubakar Mallami. So the extravagant lifestyle is the one thing, the disregard for the rule of law is another thing, and the person disregarding it, as we said, is the Attorney General. Again, the headline: Northern Youth Group ask President Buhari to sack Mallami for living extravagant lifestyle at the detriment of Nigerians. So now let's now see what infighting is going on amongst the Mallamis. The coalition of Northern Youth has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to sack the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Mallami over his flamboyant and luxurious lifestyle at the detriment of Nigerians. The group, in a statement by its national convener, Comrade Mohammed Ishaq, on Thursday, said the irresponsible naira reign at the lavish wedding ceremony for the minister's son, Abdulaziz, is tantamount to an affront on the sensibilities of Nigerians, particularly the youth, who wallow in abject poverty and massive unemployment. The statement reads, "We, as a coalition that represents millions of youth from various nooks and crannies of northern Nigeria, are pained to witness a blatant display of extravagance during the wedding ceremony of Abubakar Mallami's son that took place last week." Considering the position Mallami is occupying as the chief law officer of the Federation and someone who hails from the region with the highest number of the poor in Nigeria, it is unbecoming of him to allow such an irrational spending and reckless display of extravagance by members of his family. The irresponsible and daredevil naira reign at a lavish wedding ceremony for his son Abdulaziz is tantamount to an affront on the sensibilities of Nigerians, particularly the youth who wallow in abject poverty and massive unemployment. Spraying the United States dollar and Nigerian naira, which characterized the ceremony in contravention of the CBN rule prohibiting the abuse of the naira currency in public, is morally odoriferous, considering the fact that it happened at a time when unprecedented penury and widespread joblessness pushed Nigerian youths into various forms of criminality, such as kidnapping, banditry, fraud, terrorism, amongst others. If Abubakar Mallami is endowed with moral conscience, we ask him to honorably resign, as his continued stay in the capacity of Minister of Justice is synonymous with celebrating grossness and recklessness in governance. The group further called on President Buhari and the National Assembly to investigate the heavy corruption allegations leveled against Mallami. It added, "We also call on President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Assembly to meticulously investigate the heavy corruption allegations leveled against Mallami that include having a mansion worth 100 million naira in Kebbi State in the name of his son Abdulaziz, owning a massive event center already in use, and three-star hotel under construction named Asbea Arena along Sani Abacha Bypass Road in Benin Kebbi, owning a newly constructed school at the back of Nitel in Gese Phase 1, also in Benin Kebbi, purchasing a 300 million naira mansion in Abuja, and ordering the auction of crude oil and diesel seized by the Nigerian government from an oil firm known as Omed J Nigeria Limited. All the allegations raised are too heavy to ignore, considering the position Mallami is occupying as the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation. In the circumstance Mallami fails to resign within 10 days, our coalition has no option but to mobilize our members for a nationwide protest to press home our demands. The above call and stance are made in the best interest of the nation, having considered the fact that corruption, particularly by public office holders, has eaten deep into the fabric of Nigeria, and Nigerians have to stand up against it before it consumes us all. So this is now the Northerners now taking a stance against this Mallami situation, but then of course it is just too brazen, it is too vulgar, it is too obscene for anybody to ignore. And if you weigh it against the poverty, as this article rightly said, that you see all over Nigeria, because the average Nigerians is so impoverished that those older people that you used to call uncles and aunties, and they used to give you all this 10 naira to go and buy biscuits, are the people now tapping you on the shoulder and asking you to open your wallet. Everybody is just on the rob now. All the girls are now using their bodies to earn a living, and all the boys are on the street in a country that is the 30th wealthiest country on the planet. This is the dichotomous situation that we find ourselves in Nigeria. And then you see this display of opulence and excessiveness by this Mallami. Mallami, by the way, Abubakar Mallami, was a fairly unknown, relatively unknown lawyer before he became the Minister of Justice in 2015. So how he became that Minister of Justice, how he got that position, is a subject for another video. But this was some obscure lawyer who was just taken along because he was the only probably educated person in Kebbi State, so was able to eke a living out of that. And suddenly he's transposed into the Minister of Justice, a position, by the way, that is educationally and cranially not qualified for. And then suddenly he's now displaying the wealth of an Arab prince. So this is now the situation, and is the person, of course, that is pointing corruption fingers at everybody, is the one that got Ibrahim Magu detained. And of course, after he got Ibrahim Magu detained was when these little things are now coming out in the public space. So Ibrahim Magu, of course, the guy in charge of EFCC, he has his boys, and his boys, of course, are now just throwing all these infos now out to Sahara reporters in New York, and then we're having a field day, having a look at how this guy is living. 300 million naira wedding gift for his son, a property that he purchased in a plush area of Abuja, 3-star hotel that he built for himself, shopping complex built in the name of his son, for his son, vast mansions built along the choicest places within Kebbi State for all of his family. Every member gets a a property. So you can imagine the sort of property he lives in, right? But then, of course, he doesn't have properties only in Nigeria. And this, by the way, was we have to remind ourselves. This, by the way, was an obscure lawyer from Kebbi State pre 2015 before he became the Minister of Justice. Conversations in the comment section have often said that the Nigerian state is just one giant criminal enterprise, and the chief law officer, no less a person, is at the forefront, apparently, of that act of criminality. Come share thoughts, but before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all three, then come tell me now what you're making of what you're seeing within the Nigerian space in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.